Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Toplane Coaching. Today we're back to Varus Toplane. This is the third session of a 4-session bundle. As usual, if you like the style of coaching you see in these videos, check down in the description, you'll see a link to my Fiverr page, and there you can see the 3 bundles that are available. There's the standard package, which is what you'll see in this video. There's the basic package, which isn't recorded and you just get one quick VOD review. And then there's the premium package, which is what you're going to see today. That's a bundle of 4 standard sessions for the price of 3, one every week, over 4 weeks. So this is the third session of this person's premium bundle, and we're looking to build and develop on what we learn each week. So last week we were looking at sort of how to manage our minion waves in the lane phase and what we can do with that. Today we're probably looking to move out of lane phase and into the mid game. So without any further ado, I'll try and get them in the call and we'll go from there.
Yo,
Hello, how are you today?
pretty good. I'm a little under the weather, but I will do my best today.
Okay, sounds good. So, where were we last week? It was like sort of later into the laning phase, because it was like very early laning phase in the first session, and then sort of later in the laning phase with like wave management and sort
I'll
of
go tracking.
jungle tracking, and then like options with what we can do with our crashes. So I was thinking this week we'll start getting into mid to late game. So we'll look at some mid game stuff. We'll look at rotations, setups, playing around objectives. Oops, I just opened the Jagex launcher by accident. Yeah, we'll look at objective setups, how to prepare for objectives, like having them in mind considerably before they spawn so we can create plans for them, and like approaches to them as well, in terms of like how we want to sort of where we want to approach them from. Do we want to come on a flank? Do we want to come with the team? That sort of thing. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so if you want to queue up for a game and you can share screen, and meanwhile you can chat to me a little bit about how it's been going since last week.
Not so much. I didn't practice as much as I would have liked, which always makes me a little nervous. I did get some games in top lane, but I didn't. I think I'm still working on the stuff between week 1 and 2. I don't
Okay.
really feel like I've graduated to week 2 stuff yet. I mean, I have tried to jungle track, but it's like, again, I'm still working on the mechanics of week 1, like trying to harass and like get the most out of my very, very early laning, like levels 1 through 3. And because of that, sometimes the tracking, it slips my mind a little bit.
That's okay. The aim with these for me is that because they're recorded, right, and you have VODs of them, once we've done all 4, you have like a 4-step guide, and it sort of covers like very early and then slightly later and then even later in the game and then late game. And then you can, if you're struggling at any point, you can go back and watch the VOD and then practice those things again. But you've got them all then. Do you know what I mean? Like moving forward after we're finished.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry too much about struggling with any aspect.
I would say in terms of concepts, I definitely have week 1 completely understood. I think right now I'm just at the point of trying to solidify it into muscle memory. But the concepts I completely understand. I would say week 2, the concept I think is still a bit fuzzy. Like I still understand everything and I was
Okay.
paying attention and I reviewed everything, but
Yeah.
just I guess how quickly my brain can make the connection is it's not as quick as I would like.
Yeah. I mean, all that takes is like it'll take time, and eventually it'll
Yeah.
become natural. Because like regardless of how much you have or haven't practiced, it has only been a week, and in the grand scheme of things, a week's quite a short amount of time. People play this game for years, so a week is not a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so how have you been feeling? One thing that I noticed between session 1 and session 2 is that mechanically you were playing a lot better with like your blight resetting and your spacing and that sort of thing. Are you still feeling good about that sort of thing when you're playing Varus?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So we'll briefly go over the stuff that we were doing like in the past 2 weeks while we're in the early sort of lane phase stuff. But then we're gonna like completely shift, probably from when the turret drops. When we can get like we'll play our lane to try to win and get a lead and get the enemy top T1 turret, and then from there I think that I would class that as the start of mid game, because then once that turret's gone you get so many more options as to what you can do, because you can push deeper and get bigger like movement timers and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no, that guy can't top. Wait, who is it? They don't have
I
the
can't tell.
yeah. Don't even know who's asking.
Usually telling people you're an OTP, even though you're not, will get them off their back
Yeah,
because
they
they
don't
think
want
to
you on another
themselves
role.
like, yeah, they think to themselves, fuck, like, I suppose not.
Because then you're playing into the other person's ego. It's like, are you sure you couldn't do a better job than an OTP? And then they're like, if I admit that I can't, I'm saying I'm bad.
hmm I do think Smolder's really strong right now, and I did play a little bit of Smolder top when he was super strong. But his playstyle is completely different than Varus. You really just want to try and get as many stacks as possible.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Smolder myself. I do also think he's good, but he's like very matchup dependent. There's some like Garen and a lot of the tanks and stuff like that. I find Renekton quite easy as well, where you can kind of just breeze through the lane and get a load of stacks. But then if you ever find yourself against like a Wukong or an Aatrox or an Aurelia, you're kind of in
Oh
for
yeah, Aatrox
a
was
world of hurt.
miserable for me. Yeah, it seems like Varus, like there's really no matchup that he cannot at least trade 1-for-1 in.
Yeah, maybe Yasuo with the wind wall.
That's true. Well, luckily I haven't gotten to see one yet because I just permaban.
Yeah, it's really hard. Let me think. What else is there? I don't think there's anything else that's like too bad. Everything's at least playable.
I've gotten pretty lucky in that I've not matched against ranged top laners yet as well. I think if I had to face a Lucian, that would be super miserable.
Yeah, I think you, especially like after level 6, you can beat them. If we do end up against a ranged top, we can talk a little bit about how to play ranged versus ranged. Um, but in case we don't, and you want to know for a later date, it's essentially a case of there are like minions on both sides, and when they go for a last hit, that's when you auto them, and then when you go for a last hit, you try not to get autoed by them, and it's like a spacing game. And then you chip them down every time they go for a last hit. You try to auto them,
Mm.
and then you can create a window where you can fall in them because you got chip damage on them. It's basically the same thing as when you auto the enemy melee champion in top lane between CS. You just want to do it at a time where you don't get autoed back, which is when they're going for their CS.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's kind of how like mid lane is played, which I guess makes sense because mid lane's often range versus range.
Yeah.
Okay, we finally got another champ select.
Okay, hopefully nobody's asking me for top lane. Haven't seen an Eve in a while. They're usually really good or really bad.
Yeah, they're usually either like 20 and 0 or just AFK.
Yeah. I know a lot of Eves like to pick up their kills bot lane.
I think that's kind of true of a lot of junglers, because if you make a gank happen bot and it works, you get 2 kills instead of 1. Although there's champs like Kha'Zix who much prefers to gank top because of the isolation.
I think it's because Eve, like, she wants to shred somebody really quickly, and top lane she might struggle shredding. she might not be able to output as much damage by the time the charm ends. But in bot lane, like if you hit a charm, you kind of guarantee at least one kill.
Yeah. Looks like we might be getting counterpicked this game because they have R5 and the R5 person banned Renekton.
Hmm. It could be that guy who asked for top lane.
It could be. Just make sure I'm recording actually. Okay, yeah, good. I am.
Tough. I hate seeing Pike. I forgot. Am I supposed to be taking Alacrity or
Yeah, I
Legend
think
Haste?
Alacrity.
Okay. I think everything else I remember.
Yeah. I've been playing around with Absorb Life instead of Presence of Mind as well. I found that I wasn't really running um, so I just ended up taking Absorb Life. It does a little
I'll
bit
give it a
of
try.
sustain. You have a barrier teleport Gnar mid. That's yeah,
Well, at least Camille's gonna think he's top lane,
yep,
I suppose. Camille, I'm gonna have to really be careful about my positioning around walls.
yep. One thing that's really good if you can do it, this requires you to know the range of Camille E, so it might take a little bit of practice, but if you can ever like bait her into doing it and then step backwards out of it so it doesn't hit you, then you can just fight her.
Yeah, I'll have to be on top of my game. I'll try. I think I'm warmed up. I got to do some of the like CSing while harassing under
Nice.
turret kind of drills before we started today.
Awesome. Big thing against Camille as well, if you've got your blight stacks on her and she's like kind of in range of you, if you step back before you shoot your spell, you can a lot of the time get out of her ult range so she can't ult over it. Like if you try to WQ her or something with the blight stacks on her.
Right, yeah, because she can use it like Mordekaiser did to
Yeah,
avoid a lot of
she
my
becomes
spells.
untargetable. So if you're trying to like ult her, a lot of the time you can like backstep out of her ult range and then ult her and then
Okay. Usually the thing is like I realize I get so close to guarantee it hits, but I haven't been considering that they do have like an ulti range that I have to play around.
yeah.
Because it looks point and click. It's like hard to
Varus ult is quite fat as well, without trying to fat shame the ability. It could do with Weight Watchers, like you can kind of just throw it in their general direction and a lot of the time it's gonna hit.
they're invading. That's all five. I hope I can get this down in time.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, Doran's shield Camille. She's Ignite Teleport, so she's no flash.
Hope Eve's gonna be
That
okay
can
with
lead
that
us to a
lead.
lot of kills. Okay, so we
Yeah,
just saw Lilia cross over that ward, so since Lilia's topside, what we're expecting is that she's not going to gank top this game. And we're not going to see
yeah.
her until about 4 minutes.
I'm gonna walk with the wave. I gotta be a little careful with Camille with the ignite, but other than that, I think I'll be okay. She started her E, by the way.
Yep. So stay kind of close to the minions, and you're out of range of her E. Whereas
Okay.
if you walk near the walls, you're sort of in range of her E. Very
Nice.
nice. That's perfect. If you do that when you have spells to pop Blight, you're going to destroy her in every trade. Okay, try and outplay this.
Yeah, I think I can. I should have flashed the Lily Q. Psychopath pathing.
Yeah, I know. Eve should be invading her bot side, but she's not. She's just doing her red. I feel like that happens a lot in this kind of elo bracket.
I should have let the Q fly earlier instead of
Yeah,
trying to fish for the QW.
there's a couple of things you could have done. We'll just look at it and review though.
That's good.
That's 2 kills.
Shit, I might just lose.
Ooh. Yeah.
I didn't notice the level 4. This is not going to be the game we want to translating into mid.
Ah, it's gonna be okay though. So the main thing here is about where you're standing, because there's quite a big sort of line down the middle. If you imagine like a line down the middle of the lane, where you pretty much can't be hit by Camille. And you want to try to play around that line. Yeah, you can't really be E'd right now because of where you're standing.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. We're getting a little bit jungle gapped, not gonna lie. How can play.
It's okay. It's okay.
The same's happening on the other side though.
It's fine. Yeah, I don't mind. Just down there.
I think as long as we don't get E'd right now, we're not even in too bad of a spot. 'Cause she's
Yeah,
got
I
no
think
ult.
so. I'm just gonna let her know I have prio right now. I'm too scared to harass another turret, I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay as long as you play around with the E range. But if you're not like sure of the E range, then it's definitely safer to just let the wave be closer. Like when the wave is sort of in line with the wall, rather than in line with the river, she has much more E options. Whereas once the wave comes out to where the river begins, she has way less E's available. Lilia's in the river. I don't know why Eve altered out, to be honest. You would have won if she just kept going, but oh well. I think you played it correctly. I just don't think Eve did.
I think that's a bit overzealous from Nar to look for.
Yeah, I think so too.
I appreciate it, but it's alright. I think what happened was she used the charm on and Camille, and I went to change focus on Lilia. Had we
I
dropped
think
the
I
damage?
think it's better for you to keep Lilia out though.
Yeah, I mean, had she just held the charm a little for a half second and used it on Lily instead, we definitely kill her.
You could also
We
just
chain
stay
CC.
there instead of ulting out. Like just
I think it's because
keep
she was
using
slept,
Qs.
she got scared.
Yeah, she's full HP though. She's never gonna die.
Yeah,
Might have to take a pretty poor reset here. We'll see what we can do.
for sure. I have a feeling Camille should be back. Let me just do what I can to slow the bleeding up here. Or maybe she's doing top for grubs. She probably should, knowing that I don't think she's in a
I don't know.
position to get this
She's
dragon.
yeah, Lilia could be on Grubs. I wonder what Camille did. She's gone for so long.
Just backed and walked the lane instead of DPing. She is bot.
You know what I would do here with your free time? Just take a grub. Just blight cycle it and take one. You can maybe get the plant once they stop chasing you for 5 years.
Oh my
What is this
god.
chase?
Get
Kill the
off
little
me,
ones for
man.
absorb life. Ah,
I don't know why I couldn't attack move them.
yeah, we took a little bit more health doing that than I was expecting, but
Sorry, I should
we
have
got a
banned
grub
them.
for free. The thing is, right now, if Lilia comes top, she can only get 2 grubs, and
That's true.
we didn't really lose anything apart from health. In terms of like the minions, we lost nothing, and we kind of cheesed something on the side of
Come
the map.
fight me, bitch. Dive me. Actually try it, bro. She took a tower shot. I'll take it.
I think you will heal more than that W did with absorb life and Doran's blade. See, now they only get
Take
2 grubs, and they're like, what? Where's the other grub?
Alright, that's definitely good. Oh yeah. Eve's doing Eve things. I'm very happy. I don't think Seraphine needs to cover.
Oh, you got a
What
TP.
the fuck? Oh, that you can't go that way. You can't go that way.
Well, that's unfortunate.
My support is inting me.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna get the top tower anytime soon, so we can probably start from now. So, if we press tab, right, and you see the objective timers at the top,
Yep.
is there, from our position, do we have any way to impact either of the neutrals that are coming up? We've got Herald in 35 seconds and Dragon in 3 minutes.
I suppose
I think
well, I
now
mean, they're
we
really
do.
strong, so I think I can help them get this Herald.
Oh, that's Camille TV.
Oh, flash mode
Flash
online.
outplay button. Okay, maybe now we can't.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we could before. And this is what we want to start doing. We want to start looking at the neutral objectives and making plans. You can still eat it. Ah, close.
Okay, they took bot turret, meaning they should be able to rotate. Shouldn't I? I mean, if I'm Kaisa, I'd like to go mid. I don't want to go top. That's not. It's if I'm Kaisa, it's not a good use of my gold. But if I'm Varus, I wish Kaisa would take this fucking responsibility off my hands. So somebody just hit the Herald, and it wasn't my team.
Given that they're doing Herald, what do you think you should do right now?
A push so
Yeah.
that Camille doesn't go over there, or if she
And
does,
if
she
Camille
loses.
tries to go over there, what should you do?
Fight her.
Yeah. Even though it might be a losing fight,
I got
at
her.
0-4-0, you don't really care if you die. Okay, so next
Yeah.
is Drake, 151. Let's try and create a plan. See if you can create a plan for this dragon. Oh dear. Nice.
Nice. I don't need 4 people leeching my XP. I'm leaving.
Okay, for me, there's a very clear plan for this dragon now. What do you think?
I gotta push mid and bot. Somebody's already covering bot, so I guess I'll go mid.
You can go mid. Where do I think you should end up, though?
Bot lane?
Yeah.
Maybe I should have went over to help Eve. They killed Camille. Jesus, these 3 are just gonna shove their dicks down their top lane, I guess. This is fucking Emerald Macro, I suppose. I mean, it's worth it more for us because we have objective bounties. I suppose actually I should continue pushing this way because Kaisa can now cover. I'm gonna be a little disrespectful here. Maybe I'm hoping the timing works out. If they come for me, we can at least get River trial.
Yeah, I would definitely be on this wave right now.
I don't mind
And then
dying
Eve
for
should.
it.
So here is like walking with Eve
Yeah, for
rather
sure.
than without Eve.
They don't see her, so I'd prefer if she could check some bushes for me. Yeah, that'd be nice. Nara's pretty strong.
Yeah. What are your thoughts going into if a fight breaks out here? What are you thinking?
I want him to be in front of me, mostly. I'm just gonna play like an ADC. And ideally I'd like Seraphine ulti to cover me. If Kaisa goes in, I'm just gonna try and like play like a fucking absolute bonobo monkey so they hit me instead of Kaisa, and she should be able to clean up the fight.
Oh, that was really close actually.
It's okay. I'll take the dragon. That's 2 dragons. I want to go bot lane now. I really don't want to be mid lane.
Yep.
I also have a Terminus on my back, which sucks. I kind of...
What's...
Actually,
What's the
Slow
next
push this
objective
one,
to
fast
spawn?
push the next one. I'm gonna back and then I'm gonna go top.
Okay.
Because there's absolutely... Actually, I can fast push and now the evens are on my side. She's here. I'm scared. I thought that was an enemy,
Oh.
but that was my Scarfan. I'm trying, Nar. I'm trying my best. I'm pushing as fast as humanly possible, my friend.
Okay, so what we want to be doing is thinking ahead, right? So after we take this T2, what are we going to do?
Good damage, but I don't think we can take it anymore. We just
Yeah.
use Seraphine ulti, which is a big disengage tool.
So which waves are most important for us right now?
It's bot if Baron's gonna be up. But Kate is so dead.
Yeah.
She's fucking in the next dimension.
She's died on Baron spawn. Maybe we can for something.
I'm looking. Gonna let my team know that that's what I'm hoping for. We're gonna walk this way, and then we're gonna walk this way as vision fades away, so they have no idea. I think we just fucking do it, dude.
I'm writing notes right now. It's not letting me.
Nar wants to push top. I just want to be in any other lane except near top lane so that he can push that, get pressure. Ideally, I'd like to go bot lane, but
Yeah. Why
I
bot
need,
lane?
because it was Kai'Sa's mid. I need all three lanes pushed. I mean, it's bleeding out right now.
Okay. What do you think? When you have Baron, Baron is an objective that leads into objectives. What do you think the best objective to get with Baron is?
Turrets?
There's a specific type of turret, though.
The inhib turrets? Or the second ones, I guess.
Yes. Yes, because they're like 700 gold turrets. So if you can use your Baron to get the 700 gold turrets, that's probably the best use of... I mean, if you can get it inhib, then yeah, you're looking really good.
Hover me bot.
But the inner turrets are pretty easy to get, and the reward for getting them is massive.
Yeah, I'm getting a hover now. I can be a little more. I should be able to take this turret. What if I just... What if I... Oh, fuck. It has to come up. This is super scary for me. Oh my god! Holy shit! Who is this Gnar? Ow, I'm fucking tanking turret, but it's fine. This is game. Somebody, yeah, tank that for her. Thank you. This Gnar's a frickin' psycho. If I had ulti there, that's game. But instead, I decided to
That would have been nasty, yeah.
test Malzahar's spell shield cooldown for some reason. I gotta go back. Okay, we need to get this dragon. It's not up for a long time, so I think I'm just gonna play towards the opposite side. By the time, well, Nara's up here. It's okay. Maybe I should one big bot.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
So
scared.
here we'll go over at every stage in the game what I think the best objective to play for is, and I'll like talk you through what I think all the options are, and then you can try to figure out which one you like. But here I don't think there's too much to play for. Your Baron's dropped off. They have no T2s. There's no Dragon. There's no Baron. So I think the next thing we're going to be playing for is probably this Baron. So I would look to just like perform maintenance on the side lane so that you can play with your team more often.
Camille's going bot lane. Nice. Oops, that's not what I meant to ping. I meant to ping bot lane, but it looks like a... I got silenced. I couldn't fucking QW.
Where did Nar go? Why is he here? Why is he not pushing top?
Alright, this is NA Emerald. We want to fight instead of do waves. I'm gonna ignore them. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm gonna fucking ignore them.
Okay, one thing I'll try and teach you to do in this episode as well is I'll try to teach you to do Nar's job, because sometimes it'll be you that is gonna have to do it instead of Nar. I'll tell you
with my ulti.
no, I mean regarding like wave position. I'll tell you what Nar's job should be, and then if you see opportunities to do it, then you can do it.
Which is to go top and like what?
Yeah, but you want to push it. You
part
want
of the job.
It's going top and pushing the wave, but like pushing at a specific timing, and I'll sort of show you when. The good thing is we won the game.
Please, I just need one kill before this game ends, man. Holy shit. It's okay. I mean, you know, the Dyrus treatment. Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, exactly. The level 3 gank top. Sad.
Good on Kai'Sa for not giving the bounty over, and good on Eve for playing bot as she should. Good on Nar for being the psychopath he is. I stop streaming.
I've turned mine on as well.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, I'm just downloading the replay. It takes me 12 years for some reason, but we'll get there. Eventually. Okay, so sometimes, fairly rarely, but sometimes you will get level 3 ganked like this. And there's something you can do, which I think you could have turned.
Yeah, no, I definitely could have won that. I wouldn't have been that close. Alright, it would have been so much closer.
So, if we look at this position, right? Why in the lane, imagine Lily is not here. Why is this such a good position for you? And why is it really easy if you want to crash this wave and Camille can't really do much about it?
I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of awful for me. I feel like she can eat me from either the top wall or the bottom wall.
I think this looks really good, because as soon as you kill this and this, you're level 3, and then you have level advantage and you have a bigger wave to fight in. So it's pretty impossible for her to fight level 2 Camille into level 3 Varus. Once this minion dies and this minion dies, you're level 3. So that's as soon as this wave arrives, right? When you're pushing in. Let me go back a little bit. Right now, just start killing the first 2 melees. Because if you do get, I mean, even if you don't get ganked, right? Having the power spike is just great. Like how you specifically push for level 2. Here you specifically push for level 3, and it's 2 melees that you need. Once you get those, you'll hit your level 3, and then imagine if Lilia walks in, but you're level 3. Instead, like, it was kind of close at level 2, right? But if you're level 3 and you have E as well, so you can do more blight procs and you have a slow and just more damage, Because all we need to get level 3 is for either of these minions to die.
I didn't realize I'm so close.
So I would just be looking to kill this and then fight. And then here, what I would do here is auto this minion and then E her and then stack up some mob light and WQ her. And I think she dies.
Yeah, I think so. And then I can just 1v1 a Lilia without fucking... I flashed absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to say is flash or something, right? So you have Camille...
Well, I tried to flash her Q, but my brain
You have E or you have W. Realist. I think these are the things that you should be flashing. Lilia W or Camille E.
So I tried to flash the sweet spot on her Q, like...
So if you flashed that W and you were level 3, I think that's probably a double kill for you, honestly. In the size of the wave you were fighting in. That's okay. That's where the game became quite difficult for us. Here we won't worry too much about this. It's just a little unfortunate.
A step too close.
You were just a pixel too close. Yeah, it's good. It's fine to practice it and fail. There's nothing wrong with that.
And then afterwards I was like, okay, I don't want to practice that anymore.
Okay, she's actually just sitting in the bush. What is this Lilia gameplay?
Because Camille was gonna hit 6, and they have my flash timer.
Okay, let's start thinking about objectives now. I'm gonna turn objective timers on. So at this point in the game, what objectives are there for you?
There are grubs and there is dragon.
Yeah, and there's one more objective that you can concern yourself with.
The top scuttle?
Nope. Well, I guess this is like maybe, yeah, plates. So there's plates, grubs, and dragon. Dragon's kind of completely out of your wheelhouse. So we're thinking, can we ever play around plates and grubs? Normally, if we're winning, we can. And this is the mindset we want to start getting into. It's like, can we play around these things? So let's say we were winning and like Camille couldn't fight us, right? How from this position could we formulate a plan to play around either grubs or plates? And what might determine whether we choose grubs or plates?
I think it depends on my jungler. I really need the jungler here to do my grubs.
Yeah, if Eve's here, you can do grubs. Otherwise, I'll just look for plates. So, again, assuming we're not behind and we're actually ahead, so Camille can't really fight us. How?
Yeah, let's just pretend I won that level.
Yeah, exactly. What could our plan be to play around plates? Since Eve's not here, so we're not playing for grubs. So how could we play for plates?
So, I mean, if I'm so strong, I'm just going to be harassing her, trading with her. And I should, if, pretend I won that, we would both be level 6.
Yeah.
And I would be able to look for, I mean, not even a kill. Like, I can just look to, chunk her HP bar and have the push. And once, the wave is under tower, she's too unhealthy to fight me or too unhealthy to answer the grubs. And Eve comes over, then we can do the grubs. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to continue hitting the turret.
Okay, and to play for plates and hit the turret and harass her, what state do we want the wave in?
It's got to be huge and under her turret.
Yeah, the bigger the better. So we want to slow push this and stack it. So for now, our best option is stack a wave. I think that's kind of our only option. Given that we're behind, we kind of have no options. It's just try to survive. But if we were, ahead in the game, that would be our option. Although, it's kind of playable from this spot. She's got no ignite, no ult, and we've got ult. We're not doing too bad. Yeah, what I'd really like to get going is some objective-focused. So like here, what's something we could do, or even let's go back because we want to have a plan, right? If we go to a little bit further, if we look here, what plan could we formulate here that might be quite good?
For doing the grubs?
Yeah, and how would we orchestrate that in the game?
Well, I mean, the plan is to continue stacking the wave, so ideally I should probably keep her from thinning it out.
Yeah, well, this is stacked now. This is like 2 and a bit waves, so we're gonna crash on this wave. But there's something that I think you need to do because it's solo queue and not competitive.
Ping Elise or Evelyn to come.
Yeah, I think you have to ping her because otherwise she might just not come. But if you ping her to come to grubs, and then you push, and then you go to grubs, then maybe you can get grubs.
Yeah, I gotta give her a heads up because I need her to start walking towards the grubs as my wave crashes.
So yeah, we've got our wave, and then we've got our jungler, also mid. You can check for mid prio. So here, if you like identify the way mid's going to go, Malzahar's recalled and Nar's going to push in. So we're going to have mid prio, jungle's here, and we're going to have top prio. So like in a game of competitive, if I was coaching a competitive team, I would say that they're trolling if they don't take grubs on this timer, because it's literally a perfect timer to take grubs. However, this is solo queue and nobody's on the same page, so it's way more forgivable. But if you see these windows, like if you're thinking objective focused and you're thinking, I'm going to crash this wave and I want to play for grubs, I'm going to, before I crash this wave, like right now, I'm going to start pinging my Eve so that she knows the plan. It's like you want to get it very preemptive, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, your teammates will more likely be able to play around you as well.
Yeah. Giving them a heads up is always good, because they can at least have to say, like, oh, I can't do it, I have a buy, or it's like, yeah, I can. It's good to be on the same page.
So like here, you see here, Nar now has massive mid prio, we have massive top prio, and Eve is at grubs.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was saying, if I was coaching a competitive team and they didn't take grubs, I would flame them to no end. But in solo queue, getting everyone on the same page, like you might have the spam ping.
Scared to make this call. I was a bit scared.
Yeah, I think once you're behind,
it
can feel a bit rough. But I don't think you should get demoralized from being behind, especially when it's like a cheese gank that sets you behind rather than something.
It wasn't demoralized. I was just I was afraid of like becoming a bigger and bigger burden on my team. So I was thinking like the objective correct thing to do is to push my lead, but and if it had been even, it wouldn't have be such a big risk for a reward. But because I'm behind, the risk is a little bigger, and because of that, I hesitated to make the call. Yeah. I told her that I had prio, and I kind of left it up to her to make that call.
Okay, here's where we could have killed. But regardless, not too much going on until later on. When I really want to get into the nitty-gritty of objective play. She's just sitting in the bush. That's why it took her so long to get back from her recall. I was confused. It's because she was just standing in the bush the whole time. Okay, so here. This really sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much you can do in terms of objective focus other than like I think it's possible to take the grub and take less damage. But I do think that's like the only objective wise, I think that's the only thing we can do here. Because if we think of League as turn based, right? So when this is here, it's our turn, and then when it comes back out this way and it's down here, then it's her turn. So right now it's our turn, and the only, like, if we think about what could we do on our turn, I guess we could walk all the way down here, but that's kind of awkward. Or we could just take one grub. A lot of the time you can just take one grub as a top laner. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
I needed to kite them, right? That's why I took so much damage?
Yeah, you can kite them, and you can try to kill the, like, let the little ones stack up and then kill them with your E and your Q.
Yeah, and I would have.
Because the little ones do a lot of damage to you.
I don't take them often by myself, so I didn't think too much about it.
That's fine. You got a grub on for essentially nothing. It's like a third of an objective that you just got by yourself as pure weak side top. Like you got kind of abandoned to some degree this game, but you still got something.
It's okay. I don't mind being abandoned if I'm carried to victory on the other side.
That's the thing. with top lane, sometimes you're put in very bad situations. I think there are ways we could have got out of these situations, but still, like, we were put in a bad situation, and making the most of this situation is a really, really important aspect
Yeah,
of top lane.
I don't mind the challenge of losing gracefully, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just go over something more. It's not so much about objectives, but we see this happening, right? The thing is, I would never move to this. Do you know why?
There's no reason. Other
Yeah,
than maybe to save Seraphine's life.
there is that.
There's
Like,
there's
maybe
no
we save her,
reason.
maybe we kill her. The problem I have is this.
Oh my way.
This is pushing in. We have a really big wave. This whole wave is gonna die and we're gonna miss it, whereas Camille misses nothing. And like if we both move, I think what ends up happening is we both move, right? And if we watch the wave the whole time
She
while this
misses.
play is happening,
I mean, it's gonna stack. She's gonna miss none of that.
and she just comes in, and we're missing all of this. And then this happens. She's kind of over chasing, but it's fine. And then she can just go and collect it, or someone can go and collect it, because it's now nicely just sitting here. They actually don't. They're just wandering around. But I think if they were a bit snappier, she could have got the play and the wave. But yeah, I really don't like moving into the jungle when the wave is pushing out, but it's not pushed yet. When you like, you need to finish it. Finish the push. Okay. From here, now I want to talk about some things regarding playing around objectives. So, we are the top laner. One of our responsibilities is the side lane wave. Okay? But
Okay.
we're playing Varus. Now, there's kind of two styles of top laners in regards to how we play out the side lane waves. One of them is looking to push out the side lane and draw people to us, and if they don't come, we're going to take your turret. And if they do come, then our team's going to take the objective on the other side. The other one is looking to push out the side lane, make the enemy respond to that, and then while they're responding, go to the objective. Which one do you think Varus is?
The second one.
Definitely. Now, a lot of the time, inside this move to the objective top laner, there's two types of top laner. There's the early top laner, and there's the late top laner. Can you guess what I'm going to talk about in regards to early and late top laners in terms of moving to dragon?
How I guess forgiving it is, like how quickly you have to move.
It's not so much about how quickly you have to
Before
move, it's
versus-
when you want to be there. So a champion like Varus, you want to be sort of, if these are your teammates, you want to be sort of here, right?
Yeah.
That's the ideal position. So you want to move early and be there with your team. Whereas, if we think about a different champion, I think a classic late moving top laner is Kennen. So if we've got, this is our team, and this is enemy team, and we have a ward here, okay? You see why late moving Kennen with teleport is really good. Because late moving Kennen with teleport is going to teleport here and come in on the flank. So, whereas a champion like Ornn is probably going to want to be here already and ult this way. So Varus is more like the Ornn. He wants to push out and move early and be here on time. So we always want to bear that in mind when we're pushing. We want to push the wave that's happening just before the objective, and then we want to move to it, and we want to be there as it starts with our team. That's the ideal situation. So that's the timing. There are two things that I think are very important when... Well, it's kind of one thing, but there's two things that go into it. But there are two things that are very important when we're approaching an objective. So if we look at this, right, and we think about this dragon in 337. This dragon's probably going to be quite important. We're already dragon stacking. What do you think is important other than, like, ideally what we just talked about, right, is we're going to push out the top lane and move. What else is really important?
The sidelines?
Yeah, so we're pushing out the top and moving, so that's going to sort the side lane. There's something else that I think is really important.
Vision?
Vision's not really your job as a top laner. That's going to be like your support jungle, some degree mid.
What else I would need to set up for dragon other than waves and vision?
Yep, and sometimes
Eh,
people forget about this, and it completely changes the outcome of a dragon.
mm, I don't know. Is it my positioning? Is it the jungler?
Nope, it's
Is it
these here.
my ultimate? Oh my the long cooldowns for a fight.
Yeah, so
The
here,
important cooldowns.
if I'm playing Varus here, right, I'm looking at this dragon and I'm thinking, we got dragon in 337. I'm going to have my flash. I'm going to try to not put myself in a position where I need to flash before this dragon. And my barrier's going to come up. I'm going to try not to use my barrier until the dragon. My barrier's going to come up slightly before the dragon, but I'm going to try and hold my barrier for the dragon. And then I'm going to have, and then the same with my ult, right? If the dragon's in like 65 seconds, I'm not going to ult. Whereas if the dragon's in 90 seconds, then I might ult someone if they, if they're killable.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So I think your cooldowns is a very overlooked thing when moving to an objective, but very, very important. Because if you imagine like a team fight here where you have Varus ult and flash and barrier, it's so much easier to play than one where you just have Varus ult and no flash, no barrier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the eraser. Let's try again. Okay, so those are the things that we should be thinking about. It's mostly going to be dragons because souls are so powerful. I feel like in Season 10, Riot really simplified the structure of the game by introducing souls. It just became so much about dragons. But that's okay. So let's go back to our... Okay, she's dead. If we go back to our like planning around objectives thing, can we really make any plans right now? Can you find any?
Nah, no way.
No, I don't think so either. So we'll just play it. When Eve was alive, I thought maybe there was a Herald plan, but doesn't look like it anymore. We'll skip forward a bit, and then we'll evaluate it again. So now we're starting to push out, right? It's going to be our turn soon. Is there going to be any plan for anything? Maybe. We've got really big mid push. Jungle's coming out onto the map top side. We could maybe plan for this. But do you see how the thought to play for it is happening? Like, we'd probably be doing this about 30 seconds from now. But the thought to do it is happening already. So if we wanted to bring Eve out of base onto this and bring Gnar in, what would we do with this wave?
In 30 seconds, I think I just have to kind of fast push it.
Yeah, we'll kill these
think
remaining
that-
minions and we'll push the next wave, and then we can go and play for Herald. So that's how we would get our wave in position. We do have ult, we do have flash, and these are the things that you're thinking going into an objective fight, right? It's like, when's it going to happen? How do I get my wave in the right position for that timer? Do I have my cooldowns? If all of these things are like good, probably good to go. And then obviously, do I have like are my teammates able to be there? In this case, your teammates are able to be there. The difficulty here is that it's kind of hard to walk in, but now we have even Gnar there. So if we can push this wave. And then do you remember what I was talking about at this point in the game?
Actually, I don't.
A lot of the time as a top laner, you're going to find yourself in a position like this where the wave is still contested. So you're both trying to contest this wave, right? And there's a Herald play going on. And your team are on it. So
Yeah.
what you really
I
don't
remember.
what you really don't want is for Camille to walk down and influence this. Especially if she can influence it in a realistic way, which I think Camille probably can. She's quite strong right now. So if she tries to start moving down, I'm going to walk into her and just use my face as like a shield. Even if she ends up winning the fight, maybe like we might be able to live, right? But even if she ends up chunking us to 1 HP, I don't really care because it's going to get us the Herald.
Yeah. I just gotta keep her interested here and not so she doesn't go to the hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever that takes, if it takes like me fighting her or me pushing the wave in.
So I main Cassante at the moment, right? If I'm in this position against Camille and it looks like she's looking to move down, I will why can't I not select the pen? I will quite often in my games just walk up to her and R her. And just all in. Even though I know that I can't 100 to 0 Camille as Cassante, you can't do that. But it just means that she just doesn't go to the Herald. Right now, Lilia's not even trying to contest it, but a lot of the time they are, and it just keeps someone out. Okay, this was good. We end up getting Pike. Okay. Here we based. Now, unfortunately, we had to use our flash just now, which is not ideal with the Drake coming up, but we do have barrier. So, this ult that's coming up, can we use it when it comes up?
In 1 minute 15, it's not coming up in time. It's gonna come up just in time for that dragon.
I think it does. Yeah, it comes up in time. Oh yeah, it's coming up in time. So, yeah. But let's say we had it now, right? We wouldn't want to use it now because then we wouldn't have it for dragon.
Yeah.
From here, I guess both waves are being shoved in. I would go bot, because what you would expect is that one of these guys is going to cut. Let me put it this way. If you go here, then one of these has to recall and then go here. If you go here, they can either recall and go here, or they can just walk like this. That works too. So I think you should just go bot here, because one of these two...
faster for me to respond to bot, and faster for them to respond to mid.
Yeah, one of these two should be going to mid. I don't think they need all three to take this tower, or they can take the tower and then go mid. Either's fine. The other thing is that often what will happen is that on an objective, you will push in the side lane, and then you'll go into mid, and then help your team push in mid and walk in as a team. This is something that can happen, whereas it's kind of awkward to push in mid and then have your whole team in the side lane and then bring your whole team through the side lane. Like, this never really happens. So I prioritize having the side lane pushed in preparation for the objective, and then as a team we get mid prio and then we come into the pit. So what I would look to do here is go bot, push out bot, and then try and rotate into mid, push with the team, and go into dragon. I think that's the optimal line into the fight. There's one more reason that I think you should go bot instead of mid here. Do you know what it is?
Because I'm the top laner and that's my responsibility to manage the side lanes.
Yeah, I mean, kinda. The main reason is that this is under threat and this is under threat, and this one here is worth way more gold. So I'll just defend that one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Regardless. So we're thinking about pushing the wave before the objective. And again, I'd like the intent for you to walk bot, but also Kai'Sa can go and push bot. We want this mid wave pushed, and we want the bot wave pushed.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team.
So we got mid wave, and now we're looking to walk in with the team. So a mistake that you might make is push this in and then walk in like this. That's kind of asking to get picked off and killed. Whereas if you come around here and go with Evelyn, then you're a lot safer on the approach.
Yeah, I could smell something was not right.
Yeah. Okay, the bot wave's neutral now, that's fine. Neutral is fine, pushing is good. Pushing into you is bad. I really like this Herald timing from Eve as well. This is something I teach in competitive, is to use Herald as a leverage tool to get a dragon. Because dragon stacking is so important. Okay, we got the dragon. What's the next objective?
The Baron.
The next neutral objective is the Baron, yes. However, what other objectives are there on the map? So there's Baron.
The turrets.
Yeah, there's two tier 2 turrets. So these are the two objectives. There's none in top, we already got that one. So our two objectives are mid and bot tier 2. What are Kai'Sa and Seraphine doing here?
pushing mid tier 2.
They're pushing, yeah, and they're going to threaten mid tier 2. So what do you think what do you think the best thing you could do as Varus here is?
Push bot lane tier 2.
You can push this, and why is pushing this up to here really good? I can think of two reasons.
They have to, one, split their forces, two, Evelyn is
Yep.
here, so if anybody walks in between the turrets, she can pick up a kill that way. And three, they start hemorrhaging.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's all true. I guess there's more reasons than the two I was thinking of. You got one of the two I was thinking of, which is they split their numbers across the two lanes, which makes it harder for them to defend this. The other one is based on the timing of which we push this, and this is something that I'm going to talk about as we move into late game. Maybe we'll talk about this more next week, but I will touch on it this week. Is that if we watch when they crash this wave, this is what I was talking about was Nar's job, right? If we watch when they crash this wave, and once it hits the turret, then we start pushing this wave. Then what it does is it allows them to siege this turret, and then this wave crashes, and they can rotate here. Now, in your solo queue, will they do this in Emerald? Probably not. But it is worth bearing in mind, because you can also do it. Like, while they're sieging this, you can time the crash correctly, as you would in competitive, and then you can spam ping assist me on this tower. And a lot of the time, then they will actually rotate through. But does the concept make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
I
So
think
yeah,
they did that in when we were pushing the inhib turrets. Well, I did that actually. I pushed bot and then I went mid to help them.
yeah. So that's why having prio in the two lanes is really good. It allows you to rotate. So we can push this in, and then it draws pressure away from this. And then after they're done sieging this, if the enemy clears their wave, which Malzahar might clear this wave, right, with his spells, then they can just rotate into here instead and play for this one. It gives them two options instead of just the one. So those are the objectives I would play for in the immediate future. But yes, like you said, in the long future, there's the Baron. Now, the Baron's pretty hard to get for both teams at this point because it's going to be an on-spawn Baron. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. The one thing that you don't want is for this wave to be like all the way down here. Especially with Gnar having no
makes
TP.
the on-spawn Baron hard to take? Is it because it spawns so soon that we're not strong enough to take it?
Yeah, like you're going to be, as it spawns, you're going to be like level maybe 12, 11, 13, 11, 10. It hurts. The new version of Baron, ever since they added like, you know, the three different pits, they just made Baron stronger, and he kind of hits everyone instead of just the people who's tanking it, and yeah, he has more health. He's just a bit harder to take. Oh, some comps, if you're playing like Zyra or Heimerdinger, there's
Yorick.
like Yasuo comps are really good at it, Yorick, yeah. There's a lot of champs that can rush Barons, but 20-minute Barons can be quite difficult. As long as like 2 or 3 people go and check, you can kind of stop a 20-minute Baron with just 2 to 3 people a lot of the time because of how much damage the enemy team takes from the Baron. Now, in terms of like spells and summoner spells, I would be thinking about having them for Dragon. I think Dragon stacking macro-wise is what I would say is the win condition here, because we're already like 2-0 up. So, in regards to that, I think you probably have time to use your barrier for something. If you do make a play, I would be like, I wouldn't be afraid to use my barrier. But once my flash comes up, I would be trying to hold on to that. Okay, so we push out bot. Once we get this wave in, we've got like a time to do something. Okay, Camille has Hydra, she just killed our wave. Okay, so we ended up using the barrier to block a turret shot. We did end up using the barrier, you know, it's fine. We're gonna have it for Dragon, it's all good. Okay, this is good. We're getting damage on the T2. We got this T2, and they actually did rotate in. Exactly like I said. Perfect. We haven't got this tower yet, but we've got it really low, and that's a lot of damage on a T2. Okay. For the blah 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 blah. For the next 2 minutes, what do you think the best lane assignments are? I think it's impossible to get them from this point because of what your teammates are doing. But what do you think the best lane assignments are for the next 2 minutes?
1-3-1.
But how? Like who?
Probably Nar side lane, Eve side. Actually, no, I don't want Eve on Vision. Probably me. It's probably me in the side lane.
But which?
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm not really sure.
Okay, I think it's this. Varus, Kaiser Seraphine. Nah. Why do you think it's this instead of, for example, Nah, Kaiser Seraphine, Varus?
Because Baron is coming up quickly. I want to be closer to Baron than Nar.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really a big deal if he's far, because one, he has TP, two,
Yeah.
I'm Varus. Like, I'm the one that should be hitting that.
Yeah, TP is definitely the reason. So as Varus, we don't run TP.
But he doesn't have it up. That's what I was thinking.
He will for Baron, though. Because I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking TP's about a 4-minute cooldown, give or take. And it's more than halfway done, and Baron... Like, it's not right now, but it's before Drake spawns.
Yeah,
but yeah, he doesn't have it right now, but he will have it soon-ish.
So he should go to the furthest line away from the actual objective.
Yeah, I also think he draws more pressure than you do right now.
For sure.
But that doesn't happen, and you base, and Nari's already top. So, where do we go here?
Bot lane?
Yep, we go bot lane. Now, we're quite weak this game. We might not be able to, but there's something we can do on our way to lane, which a lot of the time in the mid game is basically free money.
Oh, the jungle camps.
Yeah, this here. Why is it free money for us to do this right now?
Because there's no way Eve's gonna come down and take it. Like,
yeah, she's all the way up here. And she's got this camp, oh, this one's dead, right? But she's got this one and this one. Her chickens are probably going to respawn if this is like her sequence.
I used to always take jungle camps after 15. Like, but after the jungler finishes a jungle item, everybody just starts taking it. But I had a bad habit because I played with a couple of junglers that really didn't like that, so I stopped doing it. But yeah, no, that's a completely a correct thing to do.
When you come out here, if your jungle's topside, and this goes the same for the Gromp, right? When you go top and if your jungle's bot side. When you go to the side lane, and your jungle's on the other side of the map.
Back. It's back up.
Not only is it back up, it's back up and it's higher level because you've killed it and it's respawned, which means it gives more XP. So you're actually, like, if she wouldn't kill this until it respawns, you're actually doing her a favor by killing it. Because a lot of the time, junglers, especially like lower econ junglers, like Sejuani or something, they'll play, if they're playing towards bot side, they'll just play off of these 4 camps. There's Gromp down there, right? And a lot of the time they'll leave this one because they lose too much time by going all the way up here to go. They'd rather just do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then if you kill the Krugs, when they do finally get to that, it's higher level instead of being stuck at the low level because it was never killed. I don't know if you've ever seen that where either Krugs, it's pretty much always Krugs, they have like really low health and you feel like you're one-shotting them and then they don't give you any XP. It's because they haven't been killed, so they haven't respawned and leveled up. So it can actually be very beneficial to your jungler for you to take it on the way to lane. Here you might actually struggle because we're kind of weak, but yeah, something to think about. So I'd be thinking about that, going to bot, because this wave's bouncing in, catching the wave, pushing the wave, and then looking for something to do. Which is probably just going to be the only thing is this T2, but we're not going to be able to get this on our own. So the only other thing is Baron, so it'd be luck to like hang around Baron. Now what actually happens, this is leading into the final point that I want to talk about in regards to objectives. Is this happens, right? So right now, I might be here about to go in this Hex Gate as Varus, yeah? Because my plan is to go here and maybe kill these Krugs and then go bot. But as soon as I see this, I'm going to run here. So, based on what I've just said, what is the final thing, or the final consideration when playing around objectives?
If there's a pick, if they're down numbers.
Yeah, death timers. So if you can play off death timers, then you can often squeeze objectives where even if you didn't have prio, like right now we don't have mid prio. It's actually quite hard for us to take Baron because they've got mid prior. A Baron setup for us is really hard, but all of a sudden we're 4v5. So now we can just walk through mid, take the wave, and then just put essentially brute force Baron because we just have more players than they do. So the three main things that we want to consider are our wave state and where we can get it on the timer, right? We're thinking ahead in time. So here we could be thinking ahead to this dragon as well. The other thing is our cooldowns. So our summoner spells and our ultimate. And then the final thing is death timers. If anyone's dead, then all of a sudden there's a huge window to do an objective. And if you get even one pick, a lot of the time people will run around like headless chickens. But if a lot of this is going to be, you'll hear me say a lot, like if you can ping your team, like with the rotations or with the early grub setup, or like right now, if you could ping your team to start Baron, if they were lost and didn't know they should be doing it, it's great. Because suddenly there's like a voice of reason in the game and everyone goes here and they do the 5v4 Baron. And it's great. So those are like the three main things that we should be thinking about at these stages of the game. All of that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So let's zip ahead to when we've got Baron. Now we're probably gonna reset with Nash, maybe? Are we resetting? No? Okay. Okay. So do you remember I was talking about like what's the plan here?
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, there's
I remember
only
you saying what the best thing to take with Baron is the tier 2s because they're worth so much.
yeah, it's kind of the only thing on the map for me as well. Like this is a lot easier to take than this, and it's also worth more gold. Gnar has good pressure in topside. I think that's good by him to play in the opposite. I really like that he's in that lane because he's got TP coming up and he's opposite Drake, so I like that a lot. But yeah, I think you just play for this T2. So the way I would set it up in competitive, again, a lot of this, because it's all macro, a lot of it I'm going to be talking about how I would do it in competitive. The difficulty is translating that into solo queue, and once you start playing, like trying to play a macro game in solo queue, you'll start getting annoyed at how monkey brain your teammates can be. But you just try to ping them to help. So you push this in, and what you try to do is I mean, right now it doesn't really matter when you get the crash, it's only here on health, right? But let's say the turret was here on health instead, it's actually, somewhat of a challenge to take it. You would try to crash this wave as this wave is pushed in, because then it lets your team rotate in, and you do it together. So it's not just the crash, but the timing of your crash also matters. In this case, I don't think the timing of your crash matters, because if you just get a minion here and auto this twice, it's probably dead. But, sometimes...
How do I make sure that the timing is correct?
So you'd push this wave, right? I'll show you. Push this one, and then are we going to get another one? Yeah. So here, what I would do is, in this exact scenario, right, I wouldn't push yet. I would just not hit the wave yet. And then wait for it. Now I would start pushing. Because if my team were walking up here, right? They now have pressure on this tower, and now that they have pressure, the enemy's going to respond to it, and then I would push this in, and then they can rotate in. And it will sort of line up at the time that they get here.
So I can just kind of lass it to hold it.
Yeah, you just lass it.
Right.
You don't try to push, and then you just like hard push when as soon as the pressure is there in mid and they have the ability to rotate, you just hard push. So this actually was pretty good timing, because now you have people who they could rotate here, but they've gone back to mid. I think that's fine because this tower's gonna die anyway. Okay, so we got the objective we wanted. Now we can evaluate what the next objectives are. So there's 4 viable objectives, I think. What do you think they are?
The dragon is coming up, and then the 3 inhib turrets.
Yeah, those are exactly the 4. So I think, what do you think the most important one is?
Dragon.
Yes, I think dragon's most important. So what we want to do is make sure we get dragon. Now, this can be a little greedy, but because we have Baron, I think what we can do is just use the Baron, because how Baron works is it basically gives you guaranteed prior, because it buffs your minions and is like a siege buff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use the full duration of your Baron and then often fall back to Dragon. I think that's normally the best way when you have Baron. If you didn't have Baron here, I would just be pinging everyone back to go for Dragon. But because you have Baron, I'd be happy to keep sieging. So that's like, as a general rule of thumb, if you have Baron, then yeah, siege. Also, don't, like, try not to fight with Baron. You don't really need to. I'll show you in a sec.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And then when your Baron runs out, see how long we've got left of it. We've got about half of it left, right? So when the Baron runs out, then we can fall back to the Dragon, and it's really hard for the enemy to contest it because their waves are pushed in, as like a natural result of us having Baron. We just have like insane prio, so it's really hard for them. You like fall back to the Dragon, take the Dragon, and base. But here, if you didn't have Baron, I would just go to the Dragon, take the Dragon, and base. Right here, it was fun watching the ult hit the Malzahar.
I had a window actually, but I hesitated.
Yeah. However, I don't really think you gain that much by doing it, because the point of Baron is if you just let these minions hit, you don't actually have to fight. You see how much this cannon minion's doing?
Yeah.
So like here, honestly, even though like they're sieging here, right? A lot of the time I would just, this positioning's really good because you're kind of between the two. You can join this fight if you want. But I would try to keep this buffed. Because it'll just keep shooting. It'll just keep going. Whereas now it runs into the tower and dies. This is a good fight though. However, I don't like fighting here. But again, it's solo queue. I think solo queue fighting is more okay. Maybe even good. Whereas in competitive, I would advise people against that fight. But it's so uncoordinated, you can't really do that. So here, good. This is what we wanted to do, right? Use the Baron, and now fall back and take the Dragon, and then we'll reset. So let's pause it now. And you see how, like, we're doing the Dragon, right? But while we're doing the Dragon, I'm thinking, what's the next objective? So what are we thinking after the Dragon?
The Baron?
The Baron's like 3 minutes away. There's not really...
No, I suppose it's just the inhib turrets.
Yeah, we've got inhib turrets. So, like, the only way we could really do anything is if our team pushes top and we can orchestrate a crash at the same time. You know, like what we just did, where we got the bot and mid at the same time. If we can do that with bot and top, then maybe we can get some damage on their inhib towers. I think that's the only thing we can really do, though, because, like you said...
The neutral objectives are more than, I would say, like, what, 2 minutes, 2:20? It's, like, a bit too far to start planning.
Yeah, I think 3 minutes is a little... Like, you can plan for it, but I wouldn't play around it yet. There is one thing that often you won't even need to tell your team to do this, they'll just do it. But what minor objective is there to do when the game is in this state? So there's no real major objectives because this is kind of hard to get, this is hard to get. You kind of got them all, right? This. Yeah, there's the buffs, but in general, just the enemy jungle camps. Because what will happen, if we didn't do anything, right? If we pushed this wave in, and pushed this wave in, and pushed this wave in, and then we went AFK for a minute, where would the waves end up?
Under their turret.
They'd be under their turret straight away, but like after a minute later,
bouncing back,
bouncing back, and when they bounce back, the enemy's going to want to come into their jungle and do their camps because they can't do them right now; they're in their base. But if we do them now, then when the waves bounce back, they're gone, and there's nothing for them to get. So this is the best time in the game for us to do these because we have insane prio because all the waves are shoved in, and it's like a little mini objective for us. So we can think about that when we get to this stage of the game. But this is late game. This is not mid game when we start doing these jungle camp things. Because now we're very much into late game, I think. When you're on, like, after this dragon dies, right, it's going to be, like, game-ending Baron or Soul is going to be the next objective, which that's definitely late game. Late game happens a lot sooner these days than it used to.
Yeah, I mean, especially we didn't have any back and forth. Kaisa didn't lose her bounty, so... To be honest, like Gnar, Kaisa, Eve got to swing around their gold lead without fear.
Yep.
So we got all 3 dragons uncontested. Had they maybe stolen one, taken one, it would have delayed our soul by another 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's do some like macro brain exercises now. So imagine I'm coaching a competitive team again, right? Because if you understand the best way to play macro, you can kind of figure out a decent way to play it in an uncoordinated environment. In a coordinated environment where you've got voice comms, how do you play this out?
You should tell. Well, mid inhib was already taken down, so you really don't need people there.
Mm-hmm.
So
There is this wave though.
maybe. So I think one person should go clear that.
Yeah,
I think Nar should be in a side lane drawing multiple people. I think it's best if he's alone. And once mid lane is cleared, I'm thinking it's like a 4-1,
yeah,
but nobody's in mid. Once that wave is cleared, nobody really needs to be.
yeah. I think that's perfect, and like the way the logic line that you followed to get to it is also correct. So it would be like these guys can go and clear this wave, and then they would come here. They would join you, who are already here, and you're here. So then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 up here pushing this, and meanwhile Nar would be pushing this, and then you've got 4-1. Yeah, perfect. Does that happen in solo queue? No, Nar is randomly in top lane, and your team, I don't think you could go bot and do it reversed. Maybe you could, but I don't know. It's a weird one. Like I said, you kind of have to react to stuff. Like now you're basing and going bot because there's going to be a wave to catch. You kind of have to react to what your team are doing more in solo queue because you can't really organize macro. But as long as you understand what you would like to happen, then if you see a situation where it can happen, you're like, oh yes! Oh, that's kind of scary. This Kai'Sa nearly died. I'm surprised she didn't go in.
Yeah, Camille definitely could have looked for something new, but I guess Kai's is so strong that they've just kind of rolled over this game.
Okay. Now we have death timers again, right? So for 35 seconds, we just have numbers advantage. So now, what before was like a kind of awkward siege on the 4-1. Like it was like, okay. Now this 4-1's actually really scary because they can either do like 1 defend here and then it's 3v4, which is, you know, it's still bad for them, or they can send 2 to defend and then it's 4v2. So the death timer, I think, is really punishable. So now I would really like to go and get this bot lane wave in, and then have... I would probably just walk bot and push the wave in. The one thing that the one trap people always fall for in solo queue is that there is absolutely no reason to be mid here. There's just, there's nothing
the
here.
supers will push.
Yeah,
There's no inhib to take. If we were to go down mid, the next thing we would have to take is the Nexus turrets, and those things are extremely hard to take without dying. Somehow we're here anyways. Sometimes, yeah, I mean in NA or in Emerald, like they just want to kind of like brute force.
Yeah, that I guess sometimes works. I was gonna say that doesn't normally work, but sometimes.
Yeah, if the enemy was a bit better, that this is definitely a moment they can come back. Because under 2 turrets, you know, this is probably as good of a chance you're gonna get of picking up the comeback numbers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So here, let's say you are gonna brute force into mid, right? This is fine. If your plan is to brute force into mid with these 4, like this, then just have Nargo here, and you know they'll hold the wave until this is done, and then when this is on their Nexus towers, you push this, and then these 4 just come here. Then you can do that as well. But these are the things that you want to be thinking about when you're pushing in late game. When we were pushing in mid game, it was more about like pushing to move into other lanes to create numbers advantages, right? And I guess it still technically is about that. When you really think about it. But now what we're doing with those numbers advantage, instead of like playing for picks or playing for neutral objectives, we're now playing for towers. So because towers die really fast at this point in the game. Like we only need 1 wave with our team and the tower's gone. So if we can push this wave in and rotate, we're looking for these rotations as a team. And then this wave comes in and we can take this. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Was there any stuff in this FOD that... Because I think I've just sort of thrown a lot of macro at you. Is there anything you need clarification on? Any questions you want to ask? Anything like that before we move on?
I think I understand the concepts really solidly, especially because I've played on an amateur team, and that with comms, it's a lot easier to see that happening.
Yeah.
It's just when, yeah, my big problem is in solo queue. Yeah, well, I mean, you and I both know Nar should have been there, and my, my issue is like when the people who are supposed to be there are not there, then how do I calculate what is, I suppose, like the next best option for me to do?
Okay.
Like if, for example, Nar isn't doing his job, what can I do to, I guess, facilitate either his job or think what should happen, or how could I maybe replace what he's doing? That's kind of what really
Yeah.
confuses me sometimes and puts me into maybe like a suboptimal position if I had never had to even think about it in the first place.
Yeah, sometimes, especially the difficulty this game is that we were kind of behind, right? If you're ahead, it's much easier for you to do that job in the side lane. But the weaker you are, the harder it is for you to sideline, especially as a champ like Varus. So if we get a game where we're a little stronger, then we can go over some of that stuff. But yeah, in general, like if you see someone do it, like if you see one of the waves being completely ignored, you can just go and fix it yourself, and it'll be pretty useful if you do that.
Makes sense.
Should we go for another game? And what I would like to try to focus on, other than like playing the game and laning, because that's still important to focus on. Let's try and do some objective focused planning based on some of the stuff we just talked about.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll hop into another game.
All right, no worries. I'll just write some notes. I'll put this on this screen actually. This is I think that's most of what we talked about. Oh yeah, things to get. Let me think. Is there anything I'm missing? I think that covers most of it.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, I didn't sleep great, so I was feeling a little drowsy. Hopefully, I'll feel better.
What time is it for you right now?
It's 3 p.m.
Oh, okay. I always forget how the time zones work.
I'm 5 hours behind you. I woke up early, I didn't sleep great, and I needed to take painkillers because I'm on my period, and usually those make me super drowsy.
Ah, I see. Probably
Yeah, it
not
sucks.
not the
Like,
easiest to play on painkillers either.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I don't really think about it, but for women, like, I mean, it's pretty normal in your menstrual cycle. You have a week before your period that you're kind of like off. Like the hormones kind of are messing with you. So you'll be like more drowsy. You won't be able to, like, for example, work out, like lift as much weight. Emotional regulation might be a little tougher. So, and I can feel that. So if I'm playing ranked the third week, I'll know when my period is coming because that week will be a tough week for me.
Oh,
And,
damn.
yeah, then it hits and I'm like, that makes complete sense. And then it passes and then I'm back to peak performance. It kind of sucks, but that's just life, I guess.
The good thing is, at least VOD reviews are still the same.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to push through it.
Yeah.
Just have to work through it.
Alright, let's go for another game. Do you want to pop your share screen up?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Already got in one, luckily.
Nice.
I have a team of support.
So the main thing in the very start of the game, like the early game to remember, is just contest on the third wave, just contest those first two melee minions a little bit harder. Just so that you get your level 3.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's just slipped my mind. Now that we saw the replay and I realized how close I was.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, I feel like the difference between like levels 1, 2, and 3 is so big because you literally gain spells. Like levels after that, you kind of put. I guess there's level 6, right? But the rest of them, you're just kind of making your spells a bit stronger. But gaining a spell is crazy. And also, it's a lot of base stats.
Yeah. I definitely would have won because Lilia was only level 2, right?
Yeah. No, she's level 3 because she did 3 camps.
Wow.
But still, she was like half
I
health, and
still would have
Camille was nearly
won.
dead. Yeah. I think if you hit level 3 and you just flashed the Lilia W, then yeah, you would win.
Yeah. I needed to not panic there. I needed to just hit level 3, focus on killing Camille with my rotation, turning around, killing Lilia.
Yep.
And I think I'm gonna try that again this time if the jungler comes for psychopath pathing. I'll expect it this time. And if they don't, then perfect. I'll be prepared for both situations.
Yeah, if you can get the level 3 and the enemy lane is still level 2, it's nowhere near as scary. Because you've got a big wave as well, so you just fight them in the wave. Sometimes Sejuani can be quite scary though, if they've got like, I don't know, Aurelia or Camille again. They synergize quite well, Renekton, that sort of thing. But hopefully she paths like a human, or at least if she does try to cheese gank, hopefully she gets punished and Diana actually takes her camps. Darius. That doesn't sound very fun. Like
Yeah, I'm pretty
Darius
happy
versus
with that.
range is kind of awkward.
I just have to walk with my wave, not get cheesed.
Yeah, I was just about to say that actually. Exactly right.
That's his only way in. And I think I've already played against the Darius in our 3 weeks of coaching, so
Oh, nice.
hopefully,
Oh, he thought he was against
hopefully.
Garen. I see. I guess that makes sense.
That is perfect. Honestly, it's really nice that these mid laners are picking top
Yeah,
flexes.
twice in a row.
And they should have an easy time as well in the mid lane.
What is this matchmaking? 4 diamonds and an emerald versus 4 emeralds and a plat.
I'm in Smurf queue. Just kidding, no I'm not. I'm in loser's queue is actually where I am.
What? How do you have a 48% win rate platinum player on your team and they have 4 diamond players? How strange is this?
The Diamond Police.
I guess Diana has 70% win rate. That's kind of a thing, but other than that.
Diana's queued with Karma.
Ah.
I think Diana, Karma, Jin are the ones bringing our win rate up, and then me and Garen are supposed to be bringing it down.
I guess Garen's in it
And,
because he's queued with Jin, yeah.
and they don't have any duos or anything, or at least not that Professor can pick up. Oh, this guy just played the Locket Varus build.
Oh, wow.
He's been running Locket Varus, and so I mean he will have some experience into Varus, just not my Varus.
Apparently he's bad with
Okay.
Darius and a vulnerable laner.
Yeah,
He also
apparently he's played
ignores
5
turrets.
games. That means he doesn't hit. He never gets like to crash it and hit it. Usually, it just means like he in his games like he has low turret damage, but that doesn't mean
Yeah.
he doesn't hit it. It just means that he probably never gets to shove it. Bad with dirt. I mean, I assume like maybe he's not the most aggressive, but I'm not gonna let my guard down.
Maybe he is really aggressive and just dies, though.
That's true. Oh, that could also be an option.
This is a very long loading screen.
Hope it's not a remake. I like Jin Karma. It's a good line. Bit worried about Diana. Diana ganking is not as strong as Sejuani pre-6. Sejuani is, I mean, she loves early ganks.
Yeah, Diana just wants to outpace her, player-wise.
Aftershock Surge too. But if I can kill that Darius, she shouldn't be able to put enough damage on me to kill me if she psychopath paths.
True. Maybe early ward in sort of preparation for some weird shit.
Yeah. Damn, looking like a freaking remake.
Looks like it.
I hope that's not Darius, so at least I can lane into him for a little bit. Or actually, I hope my team's here. I hope their team is not, and they don't remake. Because I'm a scumbag like that.
Oh, it started.
Oh, it's karma. Fuck, man, my side.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn. A summoner has reconnected.
Maybe it was.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was Karma. No, Karma's back.
No, it's for sure, because when everybody loads in and there's spots. The one that floats in the middle is the one that CC'd.
Ah.
Minions have spawned.
Hmm. Ghost might be a bit tough, but as long as I space him correctly, I should be okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Journey to level 3 begins now. Do I beat you, brother?
You deal a lot of damage to him. Oh. Thought you were really close to
His
dying there.
bleed fucking wore off, yeah. Holy hell. If he got that last auto in. Yeah, I definitely bleed to death there. He's so unlucky.
Yeah, you got to be a little more patient after he fire stacks you. Just let that drop off before you walk back in.
He truly is a psychopath for that one. Does she have 405 sir? She does. So ideally she will see my timer. But I don't expect her to come. Just letting her know. That's pretty rough. Maybe I should have been more willing to let go of the flash instead of the barrier. He's gonna cheat her. Or he should.
I think the barrier
No.
was good. I think the situation, like until you sort of walked back in, was pretty good, honestly. Because you got both his sums. I don't mind this position.
I just want Garen to be careful. Dang. He won't be able to do that against him there.
Yep.
I'm gonna stack a big wave and crash. No, I'm level 3. Okay.
Your autos outrange his pull, so as long as you auto him and step back, yeah. Pretty chilling.
Sedge and Diana are fighting. He just Q. RW. Oh, they died. But they got a kill. She's gonna back. I wasn't picking for dive.
Okay, just punish that. I think you can harass him really hard on the tower now because he's got no pull. Okay, he's going to have pull on the way back out, but you got a huge chunk on him. Bear in mind that you've got your area back up, which means he's going to have his ghost back up in like 10 seconds. I think level 6 it starts getting a lot better for you because you have the root and you have an extra 3 light stacks. Also, because spacing's so important, I would definitely rush T2 boots in this matchup.
Suspicious.
Nice. You get a WQ with your light cycle.
I'm gonna bleed out, unfortunately.
Oh, it would have been really good if Sedge took it, I think. The wave's great for you, though. Get T2 boots and a longsword.
Oops. Yeah, I should. I need the movement speed. Oh, that's not a long
That
sword.
dagger's fine, too. He used ult, right? So now he's got no ghost, no ult. So, you're pretty happy. No ghost, no ult Darius versus Varus with ult about to come up. Chilling. And from here, this is a timer where we're starting to push out, right? So it's going to be our turn soon. Definitely stay in lane. Get your level 6. You're going to have to flash over. Nice.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you played that pretty well. I just don't like the intent of going to the fight, because you could have got your level 6 first, and then also now your wave's kind of fucked. But the way
Yeah,
you
I
played
didn't
it was
want
great.
Diana to tilt.
Okay, he's pushing the wave back into you. You'll miss a bit, but not as much as you would have if he was freezing.
Maybe Diana can pick it up. Nah.
So I was going to say is, now that we're pushing out, Garen's also pushing out. We can look to make a plan for an objective. But Diana really wants to do grubs now. Not ideal for us because the wave's on our
Yeah,
tower, but
Darius could totally answer her if he wanted to. Okay, I'm not making the same mistake again.
yeah, you can fast push this and then go.
They don't need me.
Okay, you can probably slow your push down a bit then.
Darius is still ghostless.
Yeah.
But he has flash now.
I think he flashed on you in that fight.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he flashed W'd you.
Oh, is it such?
Yeah.
I could have gotten that. Movement is weird. I just feel like Sedge is looking for something.
She could be.
I don't mind. At least I'm getting XP. It's okay. I'm
Well,
gonna
she's
wait for
not
that
in her bot
fight.
side, so I guess maybe she is. Oh no, she's bot.
There. Goodbye.
Nice.
I got a lucky rotation. He fucked up spacing with me for a little bit. I'm a Smurf, by the way, says Diana. That's not good.
Well, now we're pretty strong. So the next objectives, like make it a plan as we walk out of base, right? The next objectives that concern us are Herald and still top plates.
Grubs are up in 4 or in 90.
Oh, is it
seconds.
Grubs, not Herald? I thought it was. Yeah, you're right.
Herald's up in 3, Grubs up
Yeah.
in 90 seconds.
Feels later in the game.
I'm just gonna let him know my cooldowns.
Good.
Diana wants to do dragon, so maybe I'm just gonna draw pressure up here. No, I don't like that dragon call at all. Oh, fuck me. I still win.
I don't think you do, but
I still win.
you would if you hit the ult, but unfortunately it would.
Fuck, I wasn't expecting him to be there.
It's okay, no ghost.
Oh, that's a nice dodge of the fizzlety. That's a really, really nice bait. And they got the dragon there. I'll take it. I'll take it. I shouldn't have died. I went to go see if I could simultaneously get a grub play. I shouldn't have done that. Unfortunately, it's gonna be my job to kill Surge.
To be fair, I think you can walk in to like look for that because it was a winning fight for you, right? In theory, if
Yeah.
the only thing that needed to happen there was that you hit your ult. You'll just melt Sedge.
Yeah, I
Your
know.
wave's in a very awkward place.
I just don't really.
Ideally, you would have crashed the wave. Try to get when the little ones spawn. Try to kill them for absorb life. Just helps you a little bit when you go back to lane. Did he freeze it? Or did he push it back? No, he pushed it back. Okay. It's not too bad then. He could have frozen that and it would have been really awkward for you.
Oh, she wants me to take the honey for that. I didn't see that she would take the honey for another skull. Oh, the Zion is definitely Chinese. So fucking rude.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, it worked.
Just a bait, I swear. Oh, she pinged the splash already.
Okay, so we're pushing this and then we're basing, and the next objective that concerns us will be the Herald.
Heralds. I'll be strong for it.
So in that situation, yeah, this is an awkward base, isn't it? Oh well, what can you do?
Maybe
Yeah,
this.
that seems reasonable. The grubs thing, right? You really wanted to either fast push the previous wave so it crashed, or if you are pushing slow, then also push the second wave so that it actually crashed. Because you lost quite a lot of creeps for doing the
Yeah.
grubs. It's good that you got the grubs, but the aim is to not lose creeps and get the grubs. I think you're now playing against Ghost Darius with no. You have no sums, and he just has Ghost.
She wants to dive. Oh, she wants a herald.
If you can
You
get
can
some,
ride it, my
you can get some
friend.
blight stacks on him. You can kind of. Oh.
What, Diana?
Nice.
Oh god, so much damage.
Oh,
Fuck.
really close though.
Fuck. Oh my god, it even put my Q on cooldown, but I died
The
before it
sad
hit
thing
her.
is, you based like 50 gold from Terminus. If you had Terminus, that was a double kill.
Yeah, for sure. I was even thinking about selling my Dorans for it.
I think that might not be worth. I think that's definitely not worth actually.
Actually, if he doesn't want to move, I'll go back top.
What's the Drake Sitch like right now? Have they got? We've got one and they've got none. Okay. We are
Nice.
stacking
Fizz
Drakes then,
cannot
if
hit
we
an
take it.
ulti for his life. I should have went back top. They don't need me. Oh, I don't want to walk into him. Sorry, Aaron. Like, you're gonna have to fucking deal with him because I bled top and now he's going dragon. That was my mistake. This Diana is not a smurf. In no reality do you. I don't give a fuck. I guess it's 1-to-1 drag then.
Looks like it. But what objectives do we have available to us as a
There
team?
is tier 2. I really want to try and get this tier 2.
We have this tier 2 and we have the other two tier 1s.
Fuck me. I still win. Because he's weak as fuck. Oh god, he interrupted my QW. I could have killed him.
Yeah, definitely could have killed him in the first place.
I need to stop letting my ultis fly so much. And
Just be a
I
little,
just a half
be a little
second
more
more
patient with them. Yeah.
inspiration. Yeah. Got a couple kills and I got overconfident.
So here for me, I think there's somewhere we really need to go from base. What do you think? Yeah, we'll push that out, and then once we push the wave out, for me, there's like a very clear objective once we push top. What do you think? What do you think we play for once we get top push?
Baron.
I don't think we're going to be able to take Baron. I think it's mid tier 1.
Swipe had weird. Jhin is really fun. As long as he doesn't give that bounty up. Oops. Oh, well, I spoke too soon.
Nice. Okay, no barrier. You got another WQ. Oh,
Shouldn't have used it like that.
oh, that heal.
Who gets the chain though? Oh. Oh my god, why am I in melee range?
Well, they got him.
Why am I in melee range? Dude, you fucking W'd me in the throat.
Okay, so I
This
think
Diana, I hate this Diana so much.
from the point that we did the thing, I think you were level 5 and you moved to fight this edge instead of getting level 6. I think from that point we've been really sort of
Just jerked
neglectful
around.
of our side lane, or like of our lane state. And as a result, we're down quite well. Darius hasn't got that much CS, right? But he should be around like 180, 200. And we're down at 100. And not a great deal of that is through just missing the last hits. Most of it is through wave management.
Finn could get a W. We could chain that into. They don't need me.
Definitely helps for
Hey,
you to
yes,
be
they do
there.
need me. No way, river elevation. Yeah, I was gonna say, she's not gonna smite it or something?
Okay, what's the next objective?
I need my team to shut up, that's my next objective. But yeah, a dragon. So
But we
I
have
guess I
Baron.
gotta
What do we play for with Baron?
Tier 2.
So when we have Baron, we play for the towers, and then after we get them, we fall back onto the dragon. Yeah, I like being top here. Then you can either hit the tier 2.
I'm scared.
Okay.
I want to be there early.
Yeah, there's Fizz there. Ends up being pretty good that you move as well. I guess they're going straight for the dragon instead of like the thing is, do you see why this is bad, right? We're using our Baron buff to get second dragon. It's just not a good use of Baron. A better use would be to play for the T2s and then get the dragon after. It's not the end of the world though. And from here, oh nice.
Big damage.
Yeah, that shit hurts.
Somebody needs to push that.
So they dropped their tempo by basing, so you can maybe play for this T2 now with your Baron buff. The mid T2, I mean.
I missed my E.
How did that miss? That's awkward.
I missed all my fucking spells 3 times in a row. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Breathe. I just needed. After I missed the first E, I just needed to breathe. I just need to calm down and take it slow. What, Diana? The Smurf, by the way. Good god. She very much belongs in this game with me. Oh, actually, finish the Riftmaker. I'm gonna take Diana's camps if she's top. She's coming back. She'll be pathing this way to pick it up. I lost my Baron doing that. I kind of don't want to be pushing for 2-2 anymore. I guess the next thing that's up is the turrets are up, the tier 2 up here is up. The other ones are not.
Yep.
And then the dragon and the
So
I'll just catch this.
the ideal way to get that tier 2 would be like we were talking about in the review, right? If your team get mid push, and then you can push in the wave, and then you can ping assist me and see if they come to help you take the T2. But maybe they don't get mid push, and if they don't get mid push, then we can push the wave and move to them.
Fuck me. Oh my god, brother, if I didn't just use my flash for no reason.
You nearly killed him in melee range with no ult.
Oh,
that's where Varus is completely broken.
This is game, I think. Actually, it might be tough to end, but they could try if Jhin wants to hit the Nexus turrets. I'd rather them not.
Yeah, I think playing for Baron is pretty good here. Enemy Sedge, they can get one Nexus tower before Sedge respawns. Well, yeah, actually, they should have taken mid inhib, looking at the wave.
Yeah, for sure. The Jack Show Zhonya's is pretty big brain. Her decision making is super reckless. I mean, I can tell that she is playing super overconfident. Karen, delete game. Yeah, this guy's definitely Chinese. Straight from the super server.
Here we go, one more wave before Baron spawns. Let's go sort that out. And honestly, I'd be quite confident to match this Darius, considering you just nearly killed him in melee range without your ult. Yay, we hit one.
I know, right?
Just blight cycle on them. Then you will kill them. Look at the damage. WQ on this Sedge hurts.
Oh, I didn't WQ. I should have just queued.
It's fine. I don't think you need to do Baron anymore. I think you can just end. They're all dead.
I mean, we do it quickly, eh? Alright, alright. Are you bipolar fuck?
Are they getting the dragon as well? Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so how should we play the Baron on this?
It's these two that need to be pushed.
Yeah. So do you remember when we talked about the 4-1?
4-1. It should be 4-1. It should be us 4 and then Garrett. I'll sub Darius then. Jhin and Karma are gonna follow me.
I think just go mid with them. Garen's gonna get that wave in eventually. And remember, you have Baron buff. You don't need to fight. You can just let your minions do the hard work. The turret will slowly die to nothing. Oh. Oh my god, that damage.
Yeah.
Kind of just left you, but I mean,
This Diana
the main problem is that your team just died to nothing before the Karma Jin.
is Jin. I knew he was gonna get caught on that fucking flank, dude. The fucking ADC syndrome like crazy. It's so easy. Like you just know when you're standing here, just look out for here. Don't get fucked. Like it's not that hard. Just wait for Diana to be here. 4 people. Have her fucking body the Sejuani ulti. But brother just wanted ice in his fucking throat for no reason. Alright, let me relax. It's fine.
At least you got the top T2. And you have Soul in 2 minutes 50.
They use cooldowns there, so honestly, we're just gonna do the same thing, but are you serious? Fine, chase me. Fine, chase me. At least Garen's ending.
I think you can kill that guy. It's just him. Nice.
They're answering him. I need to leave. Oh, I'm gonna get caught. Hex gates are fucking busted, by the way. I'm already done.
Nice. Varus is a balanced champion.
Oh my fucking god, dude. That's fucking nuts. I'm muting Diana. This bitch is gonna get us fucking. There's a reason why you call yourself a smurf and you're only fucking 70% win rate in Emerald, buddy. This guy is fucking smurfing from Diamond 4.
Okay, so we have Drake as the next objective, so we need to play the waves accordingly. Top's gonna sort itself because the inhib's down, so we want to get mid prio and bot.
Do not fight that, fucking idiots. I'm gonna go mid.
Waves look pretty good right now.
Good, perfect. Hexel is one of my favorites to get. Whatever. Okay. Not playing that game anymore.
This hurts, but that should be the game. Oh,
Nice.
you got clicked.
Let's go through bot, go through bot, go through bot, go through bot, go through bot. That's fine, they win that. That was good, Zonius. Of course, the Smurf makes it hard as fuck, dude. I mean, let me not. I definitely made my fair share of mistakes. I did make my fair share of mistakes. I let a lot of volties fly that should have connected. Jhin did good. I got a few kills on series. I go overconfident. That's me. It's like sometimes I have a hard time finding the equilibrium. Sometimes I'm too not aggressive enough, and then I'm not prepared to fight. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my god, the pedal to the metal, pedal to the fucking metal right now. I'm going to throw my ulti and see what dies. But I need to find a happy medium between the two.
Okay, let's take a look at the replay and just look at some of the times where we should be thinking about what like our plan for the objective is, and then like why we didn't end up doing it. How do I share screens? Okay. And then I've got a big list of notes and a couple of to-dos for you as well for this week.
Okay. For once, well, I won both games in the session.
True.
Not that I was really
Easy LP.
putting too much emphasis on it, but I noticed that I was having a good game. I was getting carried to victory, and then my second game I was being dead weight. But I'm glad I got to be a little less dead weight this week in my second game.
Okay. So
I could have died level 1.
yes.
I could have died level 1.
Yeah. No, I think here we did the right thing, right? We just pushed.
I think it was before this.
Yeah, it was before this where we moved. So here, look how close we are to 6. We can just get 6, and then we can move, because it'll be a neutral wave, which is like, in general, if we moved somewhere on a wave that's crashed, that's good. If we move somewhere on a wave that is pushing but hasn't crashed yet, that's bad. If we move somewhere on a neutral wave, that's neutral. And then the reverse is true, right? If we move on one that's crashed into us, that's bad. If we move on one that's slow pushing into us, that's okay. And then if we move on a neutral, it's neutral. So here, it's currently crashed, so we don't want to move. But as soon as it's done being crashed, it's going to be neutral, and then we're happy to move. And we would just get level 6 off this wave, and then,
Oh my god, I'm 2 minions. I'm 1 minion off.
Yeah.
I'm literally 1 minion off. Diana could have waited 1 minion.
It's okay, you played the fight well.
If I had ulti, Sejuani would have been dead long time ago. And then I turn around, I ulti Darius. Well, I mean, I get ulti off here, but still, like, we would have killed him instead of...
Yep. Here, we're playing around grubs. We're doing what we should be doing.
I'm just not paying attention to my XP bar. Like, that, in my entire league career, I really never pay attention to my XP bar except for level 1.
Yeah. Yeah, we're worried about Sedge being here, which is like I mean, she was here, right? It's a fair worry until she shows. It's kind of hard. When's the next time? Okay, here we get to push. Why do we get... Oh, did we kill him? Oh yeah, you killed him.
He missed space like 3 times. So.
Big. Okay, so now we get an opportunity where it's like our turn again, right? So thinking about objectives, the only one we have right now is plate. There's nothing else. So we'll just take a plate. And then reset. Now coming out of base, let's put the objective timers on. Coming out of base, we've got grubs in 149 and we've got plates. So those are our 2 options. So I'm thinking, okay, I can either let this wave, if he pushes this in slowly to me, then by the time I slow push back out, it might be grub time. We can maybe go for that. Or if I do that and the jungler's not around or the grubs aren't spawned yet or whatever, then I can just play for plate. That's fine too. But I'm thinking I'm gonna slow push my wave, I'm gonna crash my wave, and then I'm gonna look to do something. And if it happens that it lines up with this objective, I'm gonna do that. Where is this guy going? He's absolutely wandering. So we slow push this. You can see actually if we slow push, we start fast pushing here. I'm not sure why we're Fast pushing. Oh, and then we walk into it.
I wanted to do grubs on my own. Is
Oh,
what
okay.
it was.
But the
I
thing
was
is,
thinking,
they're still dead for ages.
yeah. I mean, I thought I had control ward. I was thinking I'll go ward it. I'll see where
Yeah,
Darius is. He'll come
getting
back to
vision on it makes
lane.
sense.
I'll push it and I'll take it again. And I completely was not expecting him to be that
Just
pixel.
try to stick to the plan, right? The plan is going to be slow push, crash, and then do our thing.
Yeah. I don't know why I decided to freestyle this game a little bit.
Okay, so here, I like playing for the grubs here. We have Diana coming. He's on board. I like playing for the grub, but crash this wave. Because if he freezes this, we're losing so much. So just go and crash the wave first.
Okay, yeah. I was just too scared of... I was scared, so in my head, I was thinking if I crash, like, it was the same with Camille. Like, if I crash and try and... If I try to crash, there is a high chance that I could misstep and die, which means that the grubs I was originally preparing to get is no longer going to be taken. So at least if I can give up a little bit of my minions, I can guarantee the grubs lose a little bit, But I mean, of course, the correct thing to do is crash first and get grubs.
Yeah, and in general, don't be afraid, because the more times you fail, the better you'll get. Like, if you're thinking, oh, I might misexecute and die on this crash, then so be it. And then try it again next time. And then eventually your execution will get so good that you'll find it a lot easier to crash in all these scenarios. Okay, so now we play the thing again, right? We're coming out of base. What objectives do we have? We have Herald in 1 minute. Waves bouncing into us. Diana's probably looking to go bot. It's probably going to be quite difficult to do Herald unless she's wanting to do it right now.
She is. She does do it right now.
So what should we do when we get to top lane? Since Diana
push it so that Darius doesn't go answer her.
This is one of the instances where we want the fast push, right? This is one of the times where we break our normal play pattern of stacking waves because we just want Tempo and Prio to play for this. But she might kill it before we even get to lane, actually, so Diana kills that quite fast. She's a really
holy shit.
high DPS champ. Then we end up going for this thing.
That ulti. I'm surprised my ulti, it must have lollipopped at the end.
This was quite close as well. Okay, we're coming out of base again. What objectives are there? There's...
Dragon is coming up at 50.
Yeah, there's Dragon, there's mid T1, there's bot T1, and there's top T2. So, Dragon's definitely what we want to play for. What's the best way we can play for it? I think asking Garen to go and push top while you're dead is good, and would be really good if he did that, and then you can go mid. But he doesn't.
Do that.
He didn't, so I would just go top. Again, play off of your waves, right? Your wave's not in a good position, so you walk into Dragon's going to be really... You might get the Dragon, but it's going to be bad for you in the long run.
And this entire sequence was because I didn't go top.
Yeah, and then this
I
happens.
have a tough time adapting when I tell somebody, okay, I think this is the plan, and then it doesn't happen. I have a really tough time adapting.
Okay, so now we have like really, really big tempo, right? What are our objective options? This Dragon's gone.
Tier 2, mid tier 1, bot tier 1.
Yeah, I think this mid tier 1 looks really takeable. You know, if we were to push this in and come down. This tier 2 would be really nice, but it's full HP. I think it's going to be hard. I think this is probably our best bet. If we just push and then come play for this mid tier 1. They might get it without you, they might not. But
they should be able to with the amount of grubs we have. If I hit my ulti here, please don't.
yeah.
And then I can take tier 2 actually.
Okay, coming out of base. What's our next objective?
The Baron is up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, Baron's kind of tricky to take though. It's going to be some neutrals, so I think here this is again, like what we were just looking at, push this in, come into mid, take this, and then from there you can either go back to top to catch the wave, or you can keep pushing if there's no wave. But I think mid T1 is very much the obvious objective right now. It's low health, it's the only T1 left on the map. It's really easy to play for this. I think that's the next objective, so we should probably plan around that. So go get this wave, push this wave. La 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 la. And push another one, and if no one responds to us, we can go for top T2. So like here, when we see Zeri responds, you have two options, right? You can either try and fight her, or you can go and play for mid. Because we have such good prio on top, we can go and play for mid now. But I like trying to fight her. Trying to fight gives you lots of practice, and practice is good.
I went the very long way, but I'm glad it worked out. Diana was, with the Jack was tanky enough to be able to...
So that heal was really clutch as well.
Yeah. Oh my god. Actually, maybe I don't think I could have won. I needed to walk backwards instead of forwards. So that my autos would fly faster. So even if he was gonna QW me, I'm pretty sure I can trade.
Okay, so now we're coming out of base. What's the plan objective-wise?
Well, Garen's already pushing pressure at that tier 2. The tier 1... Well, all the tier 2s now are an option.
Yep.
And the Baron is already up. Dragon is going to be a little bit...
Yeah, I think this is now close enough that you start thinking about it. So you can think, okay, I can push top and then maybe look into mid, and then we can look for Dragon from that. Or if Garen... Like, Garen's bot, right? So you're going to go top from base. Or you can push top, and then you can come into mid, and then you can go back to top to catch the wave. And then you can push it, and then you can go to Dragon. But I would be thinking about Dragon and the T2s, and just think, like, if I can get pressure somewhere, can I use it to help get some damage on a T2? If not, alright, I'll just wait a bit, and then I'll get pressure, and then we'll go play for Dragon. So here, we'll push the wave out. They end up sending 4 people for Garen, so yeah, take Baron. I guess that's another thing to consider. If they send like 4 people to the opposite side of the map of a neutral objective, you just get that neutral objective for free. Okay, now is where I really started disliking the game. Because now we have Baron. Now the game becomes very easy for us. We just push in the waves and we siege and we take the T2s. But our team don't want to do that. But even if our team don't do that, it's fine. We can still push afterwards. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. What should we do at this point?
Go back top.
You can go back top, yeah. You can go back top, or you can push mid and bot. As like you can have your team push bot and you push mid, and then you have the... There's no T2 here, right? So they can rotate into mid. But yeah, any top's fine too. Just go and get prio in some lanes. Go and get pushed.
I would like to not be the one in bot lane. And yeah, usually I would like to be mid lane, but I don't want to be in the same lane that Jhin and Karma and Diana are in, unless Garen is, you know, drawing 4 people.
Oh, this was awkward. We'll just not watch this. We didn't miss any spells, I promise.
I just need to make up my mind as to who to kill. I had Blight stacks on Sejuani, then I was looking at Darius because I got scared that Darius was gonna do his 5 stack then clean up. So yeah. When I did that, I fired my E right in the middle of the 2. But I just needed to... Like, Varus is similar to Vayne in the fact that you have to stay on the same target. If you split,
yes, you do.
And your damage is just completely gone.
But the upside, again, kind of like Vayne, is that you can kill pretty much anyone. Doesn't really matter how tanky they are. Okay, what's the play here? What's the obvious objective from this point?
Tier 2 top.
Yep, so let's go and play for tier 2 top. So we'll get pressure, and we'll try to crash in a way that when our team push mid, we can ping them for assistance and they rotate into us in top. I think part of the problem with this game was there was also just a lot of randomly dying. Like here. Because then you
yeah.
just lose all your tempo.
I could have killed him had I not used my flash for no reason, even after I missed my ulti.
Yeah.
But it's okay. That. I mean, I had no reason to walk into the river there. You're right. I should just continue pushing to tier 2 top. If Darius comes for me, like, then he has to appear in lane for me. That's another thing.
What's the best thing you can do as Varus here? Now, you're dead, so you can't literally do anything physically by moving your character, but you can still do something, which would be very good.
Oh, I can ping him. I can ping my teammates to do stuff.
Yeah, what should you ping?
I wanted to ping them back. Okay, I get a little, I get scared to backseat because I don't want to put the wrong call. So sometimes I don't ping because I want them to make their decision on their own. But if it were up to me, if I wasn't scared of that, I would have been like, try and end, honestly.
Okay.
With
I think
6 grubs, I think Garen tanked the tier 1, Karma shield him, Jin, you hit the fuck out of that, and then, if there's still 10 seconds left on the timer, like if we had been quicker to kill that tier 1, or sorry, the first turret, maybe we can put some damage on the second one and take it. If not, whatever, we just turn around and we just leave.
Yeah, so here we're playing off death timers, and I think playing for this Nexus turret is fine. After that, we reevaluate. Sedge is probably going to be up in a little bit, and this Nexus turret's full HP. It's probably too hard to end. Then I think you should be pinging them onto this.
Yeah.
Because this wave is coming, and we can just take this and this.
Get super greedy.
Yeah.
If they were faster, I definitely think there is an avenue and a way that they could have pushed it and maybe taken the mid inhib, and then a Nexus turret or something like that. Even.
Do you see why this is almost the same as Nexus?
Because when you take that one, I mean, you only have one turret to get through to the Nexus.
And also, you have these two down, which means you have guaranteed permanent prio in bot and mid, which means that Nasha is essentially free. And with Nasha being essentially free, that means that this is essentially free, which means you have 3 inhibs, and 3 inhibs is essentially Nexus. So to me, I'm looking at this position in the game, and I'm thinking, I mean, it's essentially what, like, if we take this, it's basically checkmate.
Yeah,
like, we could maybe get the Nexus, we could try, but if we can't, then we'll just take this, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But this is
the pressure from the mid inhib was important. I didn't realize.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that you want to be doing. Is like in your replays, or in replays of pro play, or from the amateur league that you're looking at, just evaluate these situations and figure out what the best thing you can do is, or like what the best play would be. So like here, what's the best thing to play for now? Garen's dead,
and
but
Dragon are up. I think that bot inhib is down, meaning that there's going to be pressure. Like, we need to put numbers and people on the top and mid. And if there are numbers in the top and mid, then we're going to be in a better position to do the Baron. But, I mean, we also call the shots. I really don't want them getting a free Dragon.
Yeah, I'd probably look to play for Dragon. So we can take a wave, and then we can come mid and help contest mid prio, and Garen can respawn and run into Dragon, and then we can take the Dragon. That looks like a pretty decent line. But again, there's definitely options. There's top T2 to play for, there's Baron to play for, and there's Dragon to play for. I think as long as you're playing for one of them, it's good. I would probably go for Dragon here.
Probably Dragon first, yeah. Especially since I'm drawing people top, then I should.
I'm not entirely sure what's going on here.
My Baron is just being super aggressive now, looking for kills and things.
Oh, we kill them. It works.
Yeah. We do Baron.
A lot of the time in solo queue, stuff like this will just happen. A fight will just randomly start, and you know, if you play the fight, a lot of the time you might win it. You can't stop random fights happening in solo queue because there's 4 other players that can randomly fight. But I wouldn't start them. You know, be ready to play with them, but don't start the random fights. So here, I think here this is not a Baron angle. I think Diana that's the correct call here. Like, you killed him, right?
We could have ended. If this was voice comms, I'd be like, everybody just straight through fucking mid, dude.
Yeah, I think you can end mid. But even if
We
you're
have
not...
grubs. Honestly, I'd tank them just to spawn the grubs. We two-shot that turret. We two-shot the inhib. We one-shot that
I
Nexus
think
turret.
this is
And
definitely end through mid. However, even if you don't end through mid, you can take this and you can take this, and then you have 3 inhibs, and then you can take this. Like, this sort of takes itself by taking the rest. And then you have 3 inhibs with Baron, and you can literally just watch the minions end. But yeah, this is... Like, when you look at this, you have 3 people dead for more than 30 seconds, and you have 5 people alive. This game is over if you just go mid.
yeah, I totally agree.
Or even top. Like, you have a top wave coming too. You can end through top. You've got time. And then we'll look for the next situation, and we'll just keep evaluating, like, what is the best thing we can do in this situation. So we got the Baron, we got the Dragon, we're back out on the map. What about this situation? What's the best way we can play this?
We don't need people bot side. We need people top, and then we need people mid, and we need to take this. Actually, no, we just took the dragon. Well, then we just need people top and mid for 1-4.
Yeah, just like this.
I mean, that's what I said. I was like, let's 1-4, Jin, and then he walked up. I was like, don't get caught here. Wait for Garen to draw people up there. And right before Garen could get into position and draw people, he didn't get to draw the people. The people were mid and got a kill mid.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened. I remember this.
There's...
All Jin had to do was wait 30 seconds. He's so far up. If he stands where I'm standing, it's a done deal. If he's standing where I'm standing.
I agree.
I'm walking up a little bit, but still, like,
yeah, that's a random fight. You can't... I mean, you could ping him back, right? I feel like pings,
Garen
pings are
didn't
really
even
important.
Get that wave shoved in. I tried. I mean, I caution pinged, but I should have danger pinged because those are way more aggressive.
Again, I mean, if you pinged it, there's nothing more you can do. Yeah, but just ping everything that you feel. Just ping a lot. I think pings are the best communication. Chat is
100%.
really bad. Pings are great. Well, not great, 100%. But they're the best we've got. Voice comms would be great.
I try to play shot caller when I solo queue, so at least we are all on the same page. But they're, sometimes based on the level of pings I do, will kind of delay. I can't believe they're not chasing me. Oh, because Garen's ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good of him to push that top,
so
but he could have done it sooner.
Now that we're out of the random fighting again, we're respawning. What's the best way we can play this? What's available to us?
Now the top inhib is down, and so now we need people mid and bot. We need... I mean, I would like to do 4-1 again. 4 people mid, 1 person bot. And it should be Garen bot lane.
Okay, but what's the objective that we're playing for?
For the dragon.
Yeah, we'll play for Sol, and then we'll move that into ending the game.
I want to push through mid and bot so that we can have pressure. Those guys have to answer that, or if they don't, then they're going to be bleeding. And also, the minions are providing vision, so it's a lot safer for us to walk in and control the rhythm.
This is good. It goes well. You're at the dragon, you get the dragon. They come into you,
Darius isn't even in the fight because he's catching the wave mid. No wonder. Otherwise, it's a much closer game or much closer fight.
And now this should be an end.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
It took way longer than it should have.
It should. And it's just a lot of random fighting and like not playing around waves properly. But that happens in solo queuing. You have to kind of be ready to embrace it, but at the same time you can control your ability to make the game sort of structured and bring some stability to the game. Because I think stability and consistency is like very, very important in solo queue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got my notes for you to take away. I'll just go through them quickly with you. I titled it Playing Around Objectives. So we're going to have a plan for each objective. We're going to use pings to get our team on board, and if we communicate in advance, that gives us the highest chance of them actually listening. We're going to pick which side lane we're going to go and catch based on objective spawns. We're going to prepare waves for objectives. We also think about pushing waves at the appropriate timer. If the objectives is like a tower, that lets us rotate between lanes. Then we have our different approaches to team fighting: early or late arrival. Normally early on Varus. This is the thing we talked about with like Kennen, right? You have death timers regarding objectives. You can brute force them if the enemy's dead. Summoner spells regarding objectives, try to have them available. Ultimate regarding objectives, make sure you have it available. Then into late game macro. Keeping side lanes pushed to create tempo advantages, timing wave crashes to allow rotations into side lanes from our 3 4-man core. When we're playing with Baron, use the full Baron to siege, don't fight. You just want to siege with it, let your minions shoot, play around the minions. Use the full Baron even if Dragon is alive, because you can drop back after Dragon after Baron. After Baron push, then recall. And then a couple of to-dos for you. Every time you recall or every time you begin a push, plan out your next objective. What is it? How do we set it up? What teammates do we have? What cooldowns do we have? And then also watch pro play and watch how they play with Baron, because I feel like the use the full Baron and then drop back to Dragon will make a lot more sense if you watch those. And I put any decent team should do similar things, but I'd recommend Team Liquid or Genji. I think they have some of the best Baron usage.
Okay.
I'll copy paste and send that to you. Any final questions from you today?
Not about the session, but maybe for Saturday or Sunday, I think we're available.
Oh,
Can you do
right.
Sundays?
Wait, what was that? Sorry?
Can you do Sunday? It would be 7 p.m. for us, so that would be midnight for you.
And how long does it last? 2 hours?
Yeah, usually. We could do a shorter if you can't stay up that long.
Yeah,
We could do
I
maybe
think
one
I
scrim.
think I can.
Yeah, okay. Then let me think. Mostly I mean there's not too much direction with our team. We just need like we do have play styles and there's players that have certain habits and things. And you know, we obviously can't pilot every single champion, so some of us have certain pools that
Yeah.
so we only execute certain comps based on our pools. I'll give you the champion pools everybody has. And yeah, I'm not really sure what other things to do, really. Like when for the past year, we've been pretty aimless. We've been kind of just scrim a team, kind of go over the VOD, rinse and repeat. But I don't
Okay.
really feel like we're getting
Yeah,
anywhere.
I'll try to bring some like goals for like actual productive things that you can improve on. Yeah, just message me in DMs about whatever. I'm pretty sure I can do Sunday, so should be good.
Okay. Yep. I mean that's literally it.
All right, cool.
When it comes to this week's session, I think things are really clicking for me, especially knowing that the objectives are coming up and that knowing I didn't really think about the turrets as an objective for some reason, nor the grubs too much. I never
Okay.
really considered like even just had that realization, but once once you said like, oh, you can take the grubs here or you can ping the jungler to come take the grubs here, it's a lot more purposeful. Like from week 1 to week
Yeah,
2 to week
purpose
3,
is
it's
yeah.
now completely coming together, I think.
What we want is we want a lot of this, like the theory is in sort of this week compared to the other weeks. We want the theory to put ourselves into good situations. And then we also want the skill or like practice to be able to play those good situations correctly. And that's kind of what we did in the first 2 weeks. And then here in this week and next week, we're probably doing more theory. So the aim is to put ourselves in as many good situations as possible and be as good as possible at playing out those good situations. And that combination of two things is like what makes the perfect players, right? When you look at someone like Chovy, he's like the most skilled mid laner, but also his wave management and stuff like that is also the best of any mid laner.
Mm,
So through having like the best theory and the best skill, he's just the perfect mid laner.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
those are the two things. So yeah, just keep an eye on those notes, and like I said earlier, you can go back through the other videos as well and try to put everything together, because it might take a long time to put all the things together. It's a lot of information being dropped on you in 4 weeks is a relatively short amount of time, all things considered, when you're essentially getting like 8 to 12 hours of coaching to think about. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll probably see you
Good.
on Sunday then.
Yep, for sure. I'll send you more details.
Okay, cool.
That's it for now.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Thanks for the session. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye bye.